Okay, so good evening. This may be the last class to cover that spreadsheet software. We spent enough time in working with formula and functions. I hope that you all understood the concept. You know what I expect from you, right? So I want everyone to understand the things which happens when a formula is copied. If you are able to understand, that's more than enough for me, because I know that you can understand the remaining functions. You know how the sum is written or max is written and how they perform. All these things are very simple, but sometimes students feel that the changes occurred when a formula is copied. It seems to be a little difficult. I don't feel like that, because I took enough time and also I gave some ideas to you to understand. Okay, right. So let's take the last chapter or last area in the spreadsheet, that is chart. Listen. So charts are very useful features found in spreadsheet. So at the beginning of the spreadsheet, I might have told you that spreadsheet is for performing calculation, performing various types of calculation. Of course, that is correct. Now you have experiences, you could do several calculations. But even though the major purpose of having the spreadsheet is calculation, this is also possible with the charts, or with the help of charts, you can analyze the data. So data analysis is very simple if you use charts. For example, look practically. So you might have seen some of the posters or some analysis pasted on your school in order to show some statistics about school, like the pass percentage of general examination, like OL, AL, university admissions. They are shown not in a simple table. They have shown them in the form of charts. So rather than showing them on as a paragraph or as a normal table, they use the chart. What could be the reason? It is simply data analysis. Because if you present your data in charts, the viewers, the audience, the people can easily understand. Because, you know, if it is charts, they are, graphic things, they are pictorial things. So when you see some graphics things or pictorial things, you don't need to waste many time. Maybe within 1 minute or 2 minutes, you can understand the thing and move on. So data analysis is very simple with the help of these charts. Okay, without much introduction, I come to the point. In a spreadsheet software, you have different types of charts for analyzing the data. Not one chart, it has a variety of charts for analyzing the data. But fortunately, we need to remember, or we need to understand 5 different charts. You should know how they are created or how they should be created. And also you should know in which situation or for which type of data these charts are applied, because not all the charts are applicable for all the data. Assume that you want to present student names and 3 subject marks in a chart. You want to represent 30 student names and 3 subject marks. In this particular instance, you can't say that all the charts can be suitable for this purpose. No, only few of them. So that's the one which I mentioned earlier. You should know the applicable right charts to be applied for the data. These 2 things to be important in the things. What are the 2 things? You should know how to create a chart. These 5, I will name them. The second one, you should know which chart is ideal for a particular data. Okay, right. So we have 5 charts in our syllabus. The first one is called column chart. Let me introduce the names first. After that, I will explain. Column chart. Second, there is a chart called bar chart. Column chart is different than the bar chart. Then we have another one called line chart. Yes, we have pie chart. You know, this is something which is very familiar to you, pie chart. It's a circular one, right? Last one for our syllabus, right? In our syllabus, but there may be many. Last one, XY scatter. XY scatter chart. Okay. So we should be able to create all these charts. You know, this is very simple. That's why I push this part as the last part, right? Because I feel that it is too easy to create. And also, it is very tough to ask questions in this area in your final paper. Because this is something which is related to practical. You need to create charts. So practical related things are very hard to ask in exams. But these are very useful for your practical life, right? Because you need to work in a computer, you need to create some charts for some purposes. So in that situation, it is important. But in examination, it is not the important thing. Okay, let's take the first one, column chart. So I tell you how that chart looks like. That's important. So look at the name column chart. In English, column is something which refers vertical things. You know, in a table, you used to call those vertical components as column. Even in a building, we used to call that vertical concrete things as columns. You know, so that is very practical, right? Vertical things are columns. So here, a column chart looks like this. And you have columns. In order to present some data, you have columns like this. Okay, so let's create this chart first. This is column, and I will show the bar chart and line chart and other things little later. But look here, one important thing. As all these things are charts, the method for creating them may be similar. There may be some differences, but almost similar. So for creating this first chart, I definitely take some time. I will show different ideas and everything for the first chart. But for the remaining 4 charts, I'm not going to spend a lot of time because the way of creating and the way of formatting almost similar to the first one. So if you are able to understand how a column chart is created, how it is formatted, right? So then you can understand the remaining 4. There is no issue at all. But definitely I will explain or I will show you how to create the remaining 4. But I will not take much time as I have taken in column chart. Okay, look. Right, so let's create the column chart. Okay, so to create a column chart, I need some data. So let me take some data first. All right, look here. Right. So I have a simple mark sheet, simple data in order to create charts, because you know charts need to be created for data, because as I mentioned earlier, data are represented in charts. So definitely you need data. Okay, look here. I have student names. I have 5 students and 3 subject marks, S1, subject 1, subject 2, and subject 3. And also I have found the total. By using a function, I found the total for the 5 students. Okay. Since it is my first chart, I want this. Okay. I want to display all the students 3 marks. Repeat it. Want to display 3 marks for all these 5 people. Okay. Now look here. Before you create a chart, you need to select the data which you wanted. Because now you can't select all the data for your chart, because we are going to create a chart for showing the names as well as these three subjects, not the total. I'm not going to include the total in the chart. So you can't select the total. So the remaining data must be selected. How to select? You may start dragging from here and select it. Have you understood? I have selected the data which I wanted to represent in the chart. So I have selected all these things, including the headings like names, S1, S2, S3, all of them are selected. If you miss the headings, sometimes your chart may be meaningless because those names are missed. So better select all the headings too. Okay, right, this is the first step. Then we have to go to the chart feature. Look here, you have tabs on the top. Everything is tabbed, as you know. So go to the insert tab. Insert tab. In insert tab, there is a small portion allocated for chart. You can see that, right? Look here. There is a small area allocated for chart. Okay, let me highlight that, this one. Okay, so this area for chart. Yes, you can see some chart types there: column, line, pie, bar, area, scatter. But don't think that they are the only charts available in spreadsheet. It has many. So I'm not going to click, sorry. I'm not going to click the chart directly because I'm going to create a column chart, but not going to click the column chart directly because all these charts can be displayed in a small box, small dialog box. So how to call these small boxes, small buttons? What are they? Have you found this mark I have pointed out? Look here, this one. What is it? In MS Word, we use the name. What is it? Tell me the special name used to describe this area, this mark or something. Anybody?
Dialog box.
Dialog box. I cannot hear you. Dialog box. I heard that word. Dialog box.
Launcher.
Yes, launcher. Dialog box launcher. Because when it is clicked, a box is launched. That box is called dialog box. So since this small icon or small button is able to launch a dialog box, this is called dialog box launcher. So click on it. Right, now you got insert chart dialog box. Look at the left hand side. All the chart types are listed one by one. You can see all the charts are there. So on the top, we have column chart. That is the first chart, right? By default, column chart is selected. No need to select it. You can see a yellow or gold color mark as background, which is an indication for selection. So this is already selected. Right, look here, look at the right side. Now, column chart is selected, but that column chart has subtypes, which means all these charts are column charts, but there are varieties. Some of them are 3D shapes, some of them may have cylinder shape, some of them may have cone, some of them may have pyramid. So you can point and get the name. Look here, it shows pyramid, clustered pyramid or something. Look here, it is cone, 3D cone. Okay, here it's cylinder. Okay, these are cylinders. So there are subtypes. These are types. These are subtypes of a particular chart, right? So column chart, these are subtypes of column chart. Select one of them. But by default, the first type is selected. That may be the simple one, right? Clustered column means simple column chart. So I don't want any changes there. Just keep them, click OK. Now you can see your chart is ready. Look, with one click, your chart is created. Okay. Right, your chart is ready. A, B, C, D, they are right, and numbers they are ready. Look here, this chart is created in the same sheet. In the background, you have names, subject marks, and total. So this table is created in the same sheet, sheet 1, right? We are in the sheet 1. You can see this sheet tabs, sheet 1. So even though we created this chart, it is not meaningful. Something should be modified there. Look here, this seems to be meaningless. So look here, what happens if you print this chart and paste on a wall or something? Nobody knows what data are represented. Imagine you take a printout of it and paste on your school. Can anybody guess the data which are represented here? Nobody knows. Why? It doesn't have any heading. Look at that. There is nothing on the as heading. And also look at the y-axis. You have number, but we don't know whether it is a rupee or whether it is a number or whether it is a marks or nothing found. So you need to clearly show the things which are mentioned in the y-axis. And also look at the x. You have A, B, C, D. So someone may think that they are objects or they are cities or whatever. We can't. So what are they? They are student names. A, B, C student names. So it is meaningless. It is because of the chart title, the label for y-axis, and also the label for x-axis. All these things are missed, right? All these labels are missed. So we need to take them back, or we need to write them. So how? It's very simple. Look here. Now look here. You have, as you can see, there is a new tab called Chart Tools. Right, you can see on the top chart tools. Right, under chart tools you have 3 different tabs: design, layout, format. These are not found earlier, but once a chart is created, these 3 tabs, these are special tabs only for charts. So these are created, these appeared. Okay, now we are in the design tab. Go to the chart layout. Look there is a small portion called chart layout. You can see a scroll bar there. Just click on this button. Now, these are layouts. You know what layout is, right? In English, layout is something which is used for expressing the arrangements. So if a classroom is arranged in a lecture hall manner, then I can call that as a layout. Layout looks like a lecture room. Sometimes your classroom may be arranged in order to accommodate the group work. So there may be some circular arrangement. That is also another layout. So in English, English layout is something which is used for showing arrangements, right? Those patterns or everything. So here, in this chart, something missed, right? Heading is not there, right? The y-axis value, x-axis label, everything is missed. So now try focusing, even though they are too small, try focusing on every layout. Every layout is a kind of arrangement. Look, I will point something. Here, look here. Look at this. Look at the layout number 9, right? So you can point that, number 9. So here, can you see a small horizontal mark on the top? There's an ash color or light blue mark, horizontal thing. So that is an indication for heading. So it indicates that there is a place reserved for heading. If you choose this layout, it is possible to write the heading. Can you find a small mark on this side, y-axis, near y-axis? So that is a place for writing the y-axis label. Can you see something on the bottom? So that is a place for writing the label for x-axis. Okay, let's select that and find the different. Okay, I will click on it. Now you can see that. You have a place for chart title, axis title, which means y-axis title, and x-axis title. So they have sample text. Try replacing them by your own text. Click and erase, right? I can click inside and erase it. Let me change that. Yeah, okay, let me put mark sheet or something. mark sheet. Okay, now it becomes little meaningful, but still you don't have y and x. So y must be marks, right? Click the y-axis and raise that, type marks. Okay, so look at the x-axis. There must be names, right? Names of students. So raise it, type names of students or names. Okay, now I converted this into a meaningful chart. Have you understood? So now look here, for every student, listen to me carefully, right? For every student, there are 3 columns. These are called columns, right? A blue color column, a red color, and green. So blue, red, green. So by looking at those 3 columns, you cannot understand the data which are represented by them. So that's why this is important. This section, this small portion is important. This is called, this area is called legend. Legend, legend. Okay. So legend is very important important for chart because it shows the right data which are represented by column. Assume if the legend is not displayed, imagine you cannot find what the data are represented there. So legend is must. But unfortunately, I put S1, S2, S3, right? It doesn't make any sense. But if you put the right name like maths or English or ICT, definitely it must be the same name. Okay, so this is legend, right? Look here. Now I have created the chart, but it's a very simple chart. The chart is automatically there, but I made only these 3 changes. I put the title and y-axis label and x-axis label. But if you want this chart in an attractive manner, because these are default colors, you didn't want them to be there, but they came automatically. So if you want to change the color, that is also possible. Now look here, in the design tab, there are designs, chart styles. Select one of them. There is a scroll bar, right? Click on it and you have different things. Okay. So if you want all these things in red color, click on it. Different reds, dark, light. If you want all these things in purple or something, you can select. Now you can see a small border also in white color. So these options are possible. Even black background in 3D shape manner, that is possible. This is all about, this is all about decoration. You are good in decoration, right? So you can try it. So I want all these things one by one. Okay. So this is how styles are changed. But this is the default style, this one, this multicolors. This is the default one. Look, suppose if you want this blue in yellow color, that is possible. But look at the style. No style has that particular yellow. But if you want this first one in blue, sorry, yellow, click on the blue one. Anywhere, right? In any one column, click on it. Now, look, as you can see, all the blues are selected. Can you identify? Every blue is selected, but I didn't select one by one. I click on one blue column. Now all the columns are selected. Right click on blue column, any blue column, right? Right click, not click, right click. And now you got a menu, small menu. Find the word format data series. Those who have computers, try practicing them later, right? Format data series. These are not important for exams, but as I mentioned earlier, this may be useful for your practical life. So format data series. Right now, there are options. I'm not going to explain all the options. If you have interest, you can find it. Click on fill because I'm going to fill the color. Fill. Look at this. It is automatic fill. The option is automatic. That is why we got blue. But now I want yellow. So click on solid fill. Solid fill means one color. right? Gradient means mixture. You can mix the colors. We are not going to mix anything. Let me use one color, solid. See, there is a color box, right? So blue is selected, but try click on that arrow and find a different color. Of course, you have more colors too, right? More colors, you can find a color. Okay, let me select yellow or something. Okay, and click close. Now see, every column, that first column turns to yellow. Similarly, if you want that second one, that reddish or something, to another one, maybe blue, dark blue or something, click on that. Now every column is selected, the red color column selected. Right click on it. Click on Format Data Series. Again, click on Fill. Yes, solid color. Select the solid. Okay, let me select the blue. This one, I have selected the blue. Okay, now see, blue selected. To change the third column, click on the third column. Now every third column is selected. Right click on it. Format Data Series. Fill. Solid fill. Okay, let me show gradient only for one explanation, right? Gradient. So now you can have gradient. So mixtures, right? So here preset color, which means the colors are already mixed, pre-mixed. So fine, you can have the mixture color. Even you yourself, you can mix them. But these are predefined, pre-mixed. So select one of the mixture. Okay, let me take this mixture. Click OK. Now see, you have a mixture. I will zoom in order to show in a big size. Okay, so you can see that. Right. So now look at the legend. Legend also automatically changes. S1 takes yellow, here blue, and then that particular mixture color is there. Okay, right. So it's too easy, and also it is all about, as I already said, decoration. Right. Look here. Let me decorate further. You have two areas. Look here, I'm pointing inside of the chart. It shows plot area. Have you noted that name? Plot area. So this area belongs to plot area. If I point little outside of the chart, it shows chart area. So you have chart area and also you have plot area. But both chart area and plot area are in white color. Right, chart area also white color, plot area also white color. If you want, you can change both. Okay, so let me change the chart area background first. Okay, so right click on it, right click on any area, any side on the of the chart area. Okay, right click on it, and now look at the last one, format chart area. Format chart area, click on it. There are options, so click on solid fill. Solid fill. So it turns to blue because blue is already selected. That's why it is blue. So you may change into any other color. So I clicked on an ash or something. Okay. Now the chart area has been changed. And now still the plot area is in white. If you want a different color for plot area, now right click on the plot area. These are very shortcut ideas. Right click on the plot area. And there you have an option called format plot area. Earlier it was format chart area. This time it's format plot area. Click on it. Again, you have fill. Click on solid fill. Okay. Take the color. You have the color box there, right? So I select this color and click close. Now you have a different one. Because you know, when it comes to chart, yes, the selecting the right chart is very important. At the same time, it should be attractive. Then only people, pay the attention. If the chart is not attractive, then people never pay attention. It doesn't matter that whether you create a chart for pasting on the wall or maybe print on the book or whatever, right? So it must be very attractive. That's why I spend some time in decorating. Okay, right. Now go back to the design again. Look here. If you want, you can check the other layouts. I only check the first layout. See, let's check some other layouts. So look at this layout. Look at this. Here, it seems to be a little different. Look here, you can write the title, y axis there, something can be written. For x axis also written. Have you noted the column? They are, I mean, clusters. No spaces between. Look here, I click on it. Now look here. And also there is no legend. You can find it, right? Look here. In this particular layout, if you notice the layout carefully, you can watch, I mean, get those things. No legend there. But in this one, legend is there on the right side. But here, no legend. So that may be the reason why I told you to select the appropriate layout. Right? There may be different layouts, but you have to pick the right layout. Okay. So here, look at this one. Okay, this is something different. You have a heading, and also you have the y-axis, but no x-axis. Click here. Now, in x-axis you can't have any labels, but y-axis there, heading there, and for the last one, the values are displayed on the top. Okay, the subject names and also values, S1, S2, S3, and values. That's why they are not clear. Both subject names and also values are there only for the last one. Okay, so if I want to select anything, look here. Now I select the second one. It's different. Look here, the legend is there, but on the top. No x-axis, no y-axis, right? And also note, all the columns have the values. Okay, you don't need to check the here. No, you don't need to check the y-axis because values are displayed on the top. So this is it's up to you to decide which layout is perfect for you. I can't say that it is the layout number 9 is the perfect. Maybe for some instances it may be good because it has the heading, label for y-axis and label for x-axis and legend. But nobody can be sure, right? So if someone has another purpose, go with your layout. Okay, right. So now I have reselected the layout number 9. So that's why the names are changed. I have to type the axis title, x-axis title again, right? Okay, right. Listen. Now I have created the chart. Assume I finished creating. I did all the formatting. So I took some time for creating the chart. In addition to them, I took some additional time for formatting, which means those making some changes in the colors, right, and layouts. Those are simply formatting. But after doing all these things, I realized that this is something different than which I wanted. So assume I wanted a 3D column chart. But without noticing, I created a simple column chart. Now only I realized that it should be column chart. So don't worry, you can simply convert this into column 3D or whatever. Don't think that you need to create from the very beginning again. No issue. Look here. There is an option called change chart type. Change chart type. Click on it. Now see, you got the same window as you got earlier. The chart types are there and subtypes are there. Okay, so now you can select the subtype which you want. Okay, so I can select one thing here. Look here, I want to select this one. Cylinder. Select it and click OK. Now everything turns into a cylinder, but not all the formattings are still there. You don't need to reformat them. Okay. So even if you click there, you have some other things like, look here, you have pyramid. So let me click this pyramid. Now, same, but the layout has been changed. Have you noted there may be some different format? Look here, the second one, third one. Okay, look at the second one. I click on it. Now, for every student, you have only one column. In the previous examples, you had 3 columns for each student. Why? You had 3 different subjects. For A, you had 3 subjects. For B, you had 3. C, you had 3. But now, you have 3 A's, but those 3 subjects are shown in one column. Look here, from here to here, one subject. What is it? Blue subject, S1. From here to here, for example, if it is 90, from 90 to 150 or something, what is it? S2. Maybe if it is 150, it may be 220. From 150 to 220 is S3. So now, within one column, we are able to show different subject marks. This can reduce the space, because imagine if you have, let's say, 6 subject or 9 subject. Assume every student has 9 subject. So if you choose the previous method, for every student, there should be 9 columns. It must be a big cluster, right? It seems to be very big. Assume if you have 30 students in your class, every 30 student has 9. So 9 into 30, right? So it's huge. You have hundreds of columns. That takes space, big spaces. So that may be the reason why we have this idea. But here the problem is sometimes you are unable to get the right number, right figure. So now by looking at this yellow, you can't exactly tell the number, the marks. So if you want to tell the marks, try change the layout. Now you may have some different layout because I have changed the subtype, right? So you have some different layouts. Okay, find a layout. Okay, let me find this one. Okay, I click on it. Now it's okay. Now the subject marks is there along with the columns. Now it's too simple, right? So this is 78, 76, 65, 89, 76, 65. So you have choices, right? Layouts can be changed. Let me change one more layout. Okay, I select here. Now look here, you have legend 2, right? Legend there, and the y-axis, x-axis there, not the title. So hope you got that particular layout, right? For every type, layouts can be changed. Okay. Right, so this is how the other subtypes can be applied. So I'm not going to use everything, but if you have interest, you can check it, right? There may be many. Even in the cylinder also, you have that pattern. In one cylinder, there may be many. Look here, one cylinder, but that has 3 subjects. Got it? So even you have subtypes, sorry, styles. Now cylinder type, but styles are there. All right, so this is how a column chart is created. If I want to explain some other things about column chart, I will explain later, not now. So let's create a bar chart now. I deleted that one. So create a bar chart. Okay. So going to create a bar chart for the same data. Names, S1 marks, S2 marks, S3 marks. It's quite easy to create a bar chart. As I mentioned earlier, if you know how to create a column chart, definitely you can manage the bar chart. Okay, so select the data which required. I have selected this. Go to the insert tab. As you can see, charts are there, but I'm not going to click on them. So click on the chart tab, that dialog box launcher, right? Dialog box launcher. So this time you have to click on bar, which is listed as 4th, right? 4th bar. Now you here, you can see the subtypes of bar chart are listed. These are subtypes. Select one of them. By default, the first one, maybe the normal one, clustered one is selected. So keep them as they are and click OK. Now you got the bar chart. I will reduce the zoom size. Okay. Now you can see the bar chart is there in front of the data. So this is bar. You know, bar is something which is horizontal. right? So we used to call as bar to refer some component which are placed horizontally. So here, all these components are placed horizontally. That's why these are called bar chart, right? Okay, totally opposite to the column chart. So now look here, in y-axis, you have names. In x-axis, you have marks. But in column chart, you had names in x-axis, marks in y-axis. Now things changed. Look here, now you have the bar chart, but that is not meaningful because it missed the heading, it missed the label for y-axis and also x-axis. Now make that, right? Change that into meaningful. So how, you got the idea, right? How? Go to the chart layout. You have layouts. Earlier in the previous example, you have seen layouts of column chart. Now these are the layouts of bar chart. Find one of them. Okay, so I can find any of them. So let me find this one. Look here, there is something for heading. There is something for showing the y-axis and x-axis. Click on it. Now it must be a meaningful one. Legend also there. You can have a chart title. You can have a y-axis label and x-axis label. So again, type that. This time it's again marks sheet. Okay. So in y-axis, you have names, right? So these are names. In x-axis, these are marks. Okay. So now it becomes meaningful. As I said earlier, if you want to change the color for every bar, it is possible. You can click on the bar. Now every green color bar is selected. Try right clicking on green color bar. Go to the format data series. Click on fill. Click on solid fill and take a color. Look here. I got the yellow. Have you understood? In this manner, you can manage it. Okay, right. Right. One important thing I forgot to mention for column chart. Okay, let's take a column chart again and explain that one. After that, we will come back. Right. Look, I want a column chart now, but I have bar chart. I put the heading and y-axis label and x-axis label. So now it is possible. Yes, it is possible to convert this bar chart into column chart. That is also possible. So all you need to do is go to the chart, change chart type. Click on it. You have column chart, right? Select the column. Select the subtype which you want. I want the first one. Okay. Now see. Sorry. I made a small mistake. I think that particular one is selected. That's a problem. Okay. Now we can try change chart type. Column. Select. Okay. Now see, it is changed. We have column chart. Okay. Let me explain the one, or let me apply the one which I forgot to mention. Right. Look here. Look at this. Look at this data again. You have names. You have S1, S2, S3. So you want to display this data in column chart. Right. Now look here. In this chart, in x-axis you have names. In y-axis you have marks. Okay. So this is one method, but there is one more possibility also there for representing the data. Now, rather than or instead of showing the names in x-axis, I'm going to show the I'm going to show the subjects in x-axis. Okay, in x-axis it is subject. Yes, in y-axis it should be marks. So can anyone tell me if it is subjects in x-axis? Right, if it is subjects in x-axis, how many columns are there for one subject? How many columns can be there for one subject? Assume this is not name, this is subject. So how many columns are there for one subject?
5 columns.
Yes, it must be 5 columns because you have 5 students. Have you understood? You have 5 students. So, okay, it's very simple. You don't need to do several things. See there, have you noted the icon? Switch column and row. Click once. Now see, things changed. Now, what are in the x-axis? Are they names? No. S1, S2, S3. What are they? They are subjects. These are subjects. Have you understood? Now, in S1 subject, you have 5 columns. What are those 5 columns? Have a look at the legend. Now legend grows. What are displayed? They are students. So this is student A, the red, green student B, yellow student C, purple student D, that blue student E. For every subject, you have a cluster of students. So when it comes to column chart, both ideas are possible. It depends actually on the purpose of you. So suppose if I am the class teacher of you, right? If I am the class teacher of you, I want to show, or I want to see every student's all the subjects marks, like the previous method. Because for me, I need to know your performance. So I want your names in x-axis. So in x-axis, your names are there. For every student, there are clusters. There is a cluster of subjects that may be very useful for me to understand every student. Have you understood? I should know how you, you progress for your subject, all the subjects. In a teacher's perspective, class teacher's perspective, this is important. But if I am a subject teacher of you, if I am a teacher of ICT to you, I want to know, the students' performance only for my subject. I want to see how students perform for my subject only. So now imagine I want this format. Assume this is subject 1, this is my subject, S1 ICT. So in ICT, you have columns. For me, it's enough, right? I don't want to see S2, S3 because I am teaching ICT, so I want to see your progress in ICT. So for me, it's very important because I can easily check your, that height. If all the clusters seem to be same height, then I can be satisfied. I can say that, okay, it's good. All these things, all these students are doing good. So they keep the height in same level, maybe high level. So it may be okay. So it's up to you to decide the method, right, or model or sample, right? It may be okay. If you click again, you can have the other one. Clear? So let's go to the column chart, bar chart again. Change chart type, bar chart. Okay, now you got the bar chart. Even in the bar chart also you have subtype. Okay, let's try some subtypes. You have this one, right? Cylinders. Click on the cylinder and okay. Now see, everything is a cylinder. If you want many data in one bar, that is possible. Look at the second one. Now you have only one bar for each student. In each bar, there are 3 students marks there. Sorry, in each bar, 3 subjects marks are there. Look here, for E, this blue one is for subject 1, red one is subject 2. This is something quite same as column chart, except vertical and horizontal, right? Otherwise, things are same. Clear? So I don't want to waste this time. Similarly, you can simply create the third chart. I'm going to erase it. Even I can turn this or convert this into line chart, but I don't want. So let's create the line chart. Third chart, line chart. Yes, I want the line chart for all these 3 subjects. So select the same data again. we can apply the total later, right? So let's use this. Go to the insert dialog box launcher, and this time click on line. Now look here, you have some line charts, some types, not in big numbers. See, for column chart, you have so many options, subtypes. Even for bar charts, you have many subtypes, but for line chart, there are few options, few subtypes. Select one of them. Look here, the fourth one is default selection that marked there. So that's why it is there, or keep it, click OK. Let's zoom out. Right, look here. Now, again in x-axis, students' names are there. In y-axis, marks, and also you have legend. You have 3 lines. Have you noted? You have 3 lines. Why? For 3 subjects. S1 is, blue is S1, subject 1, red S2, and green S3. For student A, look here, you have 3 marks. One is here, green one, so that is subject 3. He got something like 65 or something. For this one, subject 2, he got more than 75 or something. For blue, which one, subject 1, he got around 79 or something, right? So for B also marks there are C, D. So this is line chart. Now go and check the layout. Now it has layouts of line chart. This is different than what you have seen earlier. Right now you have layouts of line chart. So let me select one of the meaningful one. So I feel that it may be meaningful because there may be a heading, y-axis, x-axis. Click on it. Now you can have a title there, y-axis name, x-axis name, and these are there. Clear? And even if you want, you can change the subtype. Click on here. Right? As you can see, some 3D shape there. Line without marks are there. So click on it. Now no marks. Okay, let me change one subtype. Even the marks also shown. Look here. Now the marks are directly shown. That is possible. In some examples, you can see the marks. Okay. So even you can have 3D shapes, 3D line. This is something looks like a 3D. Okay, so I hope that you could understand such thing. I'm not going to decorate the things. I'm not going to change the plot area or chart area or whatever. You can. Okay, right. So now let's try one more. After that, we can go to the pie chart. Now, let me show the names and the total marks in a column chart. Earlier, we have shown the names and 3 subject marks, but this time I want to show the names and total only. So can you select all the data? No. If you select all the data, you definitely understand that all these things must be presented in your chart. No, we don't want. So select only the names first. Then you need to select total. You know how to do multiple selection, right? So now, earlier, all the columns are neighboring columns. So you can easily drag like that. But now, first column is here. The second column is somewhere there. So what happens if you select the other one? Now the first column deselected. So how to select multiple columns? Select the first column and press the control key, right? Hold on the control key and now select the second field. Now only release the control button. Okay, how? First select the first column, then press the control key. While selecting the control key, while pressing the control key, select the next column. Now both are selected. Go to the insert, go to the dialog box launcher. Yes, select the column chart. And okay, let's look here. Now you have only one column for each student. Okay, you have only one. For student A, you have only one because it's only total. Earlier, it was 3 subjects, right? Now it is only 1 subject, which means only total, so only 1. If you want to select 1, now see, only 1. If you want to select 1, that is also possible. So now see the first one only selected. I double click and right click and change the color. Only first one. Even you can parallelly change all the colors. Now only first one changed. Now select the second one. Right click, format, fill color, give a color. Give a different color. Have you understood? So one by one, even you can change the color. Okay. So this is one, this is another one, but since it's a total beta, we can have the same color, but it is possible. Even the subtype can be changed. Go there and take a 3D or something. 3D, so it is possible. Even you can change this as bar chart. Go to the bar and select the bar. Select one of the bar. Okay, click OK. A bar chart. Go to the line chart. Select one of the line and click OK. Now only one line. So now you must understand that all these three charts, column chart, bar chart, line chart, almost similar. I use the word similar because the way of representing the data may be the appearance different, but they can be used for the same purpose. In my example or in my previous example, I wanted to show student names, some student names and three subjects, S1, S2, S3. I have names. On the other side, I have three subjects. So in that situation, you can use these three charts. You can use the bar chart, column chart, line chart. All these three are possible. But in this instance, you cannot use the pie chart. I didn't explain pie, but hope you can understand, because if it is pie chart, it's one circle. Imagine you want to show 5 students and 3 subject marks. Is it possible to divide that one pie to show these things? You have 5 students and 3 marks. Impossible. Imagine it's impossible, right? I will explain that later, but it is impossible. But for such instances, column chart, bar chart, line chart are applicable. They are similar. Okay, right. So I hope that you understood these things enough for today. But I tell you to practice. Those who have computers, try practicing. These are very useful for your practical life, not for exam. Exam, maybe I know the question. I can predict the question directly. But this is very important for practical life. Okay, enough for today. We will meet in another class. Thank you.